I want to thank you guys for replying to my last video. If you're new, my last video was about me being 56 years old and having no friends. And I wasn't sure what kind of comments I was going to get on that video, but I was both entertained and I enjoyed reading every single comment. So this video, what I want to do is just go over those comments and totally not be judgmental. I never want to be judgmental because we're all different, and that just doesn't rub me the right way anyway. And then I also want to just kind of confirm some things that I said in my last video. So here we go. Let's go to the comments. James Manning 1193 said, "Lucky you, buy a golden retriever, problem solved." I laughed out loud on that one, not only because it talks about pets, but I had a golden retriever, and thinking about it, I'll bet you a lot of people don't have friends because sometimes their pets are better friends than humans would be. And so that just adds another layer of, hey, I have a golden retriever. I don't need a friend. I can talk to it and he doesn't give me any lip back. He doesn't judge me or whatever, he or she. And I thought about that and I'm like, hey, James Manning, 1193, you're on to something. I didn't even think about pets and how they can be your best friend and how that could be a replacement for real true friends or human friends if you want to take it that way. Ghostwriter 513 says, "I'm glad I'm not the only one that feels that way. You summed it up perfectly." Keith PZ3UJ said, "You're absolutely right. Evolve at 64 years old. A lot of the casual friends are passing on and it sort of freaks you out at times. Then you realize the last time you reached out to be a lot younger than you thought. My wife of 46 years is just fine." So it kind of confirms the fact that a lot of folks out there feel the same way about not having any friends. And it doesn't really freak them out or it doesn't really shock them because, like we said before, we're all going through this stage where our friends are passing away, our friends moved away. And what I didn't even think about is, when we retire, that's a whole nother dynamic where you now might have more time to have friends. You might go, have time to go to different places where you might meet friends. And some people said they have friends at church where you might have that time to spend and make these new friends. So I didn't even think about retirement, and that is a great point too. Hammy Girl says, 69 years old, and I have no family that cares and only have acquaintances. I have been a widow for over 19 years now. It is okay because my mama, although gone, raised me to be a very strong gal. Hammy Girl, I told you I was sorry that you had lost your mom and your husband, and that's, one of those things where it just kind of depends on who you are, how you handle, moving on from that. Some people would automatically reach out for other folks, and other people are like you said, hey, I'm strong. I, can handle this on my own. And that's the beauty about all of us. We handle things in a different way. We will cope, we will deal, and it just, it takes on your personality, how you handle those situations. Grabbing Gear says, "Ask Jesus, he'll be your friend, silly man." Another one that made me laugh out loud. Yes, you are right. Jesus, like I told you, he is my best friend. But we were talking about humans, and I get your, sarcasm there. But you're right. In times of need, Jesus will be your friend, and sometimes he will send human people to be your friend to just help you deal, help you cope, help you get over that pain. So yes, Jesus is my friend. Angry Oiler Yank said, "I will be your friend, brother." Thank you so much. And that made me think, yeah, I'm not trying to avoid having friends. It's not like I am there's no way I'm having any friends. It's just the situation and the stage I'm in life right now where I'm not going to just, be searching them out like, hey, I need a friend really bad. I don't want to come across to people like, oh, there's Mitch, stay away from him, he doesn't want friends. Man, I love a good conversation and going out with folks. So I don't want to come across that way. But definitely, man, if people reach out, I am going to be like, hey, I will, be your friend if that situation arises. Freeman 8218 says, Mitch, I hear you, bud. And I think that's what we all wanted. We just want to be heard. We just want to say things that maybe you wouldn't just say out loud. You wouldn't go to work tomorrow and go, hey, everybody, I need some help, man. I have no friends. That's not a conversation you might not have out loud. You might not have with your family. But on here, I want you guys to feel safe. Like, we can talk about anything. And you can definitely feel free to say anything here and not be judged. And just be able to be, affirmed. Like, hey, we hear you. We understand what's going on. And that's the beauty about YouTube. You can, from the comfort of your home, on your phone, just be able to be affirmed like, hey, Mitch is in the same boat. We should not feel bad, broken, or like a freak. We are just living our lives. And if that's the situation, then hey, we feel like we're all a tight little club here. It's going to be the Mitch and the No Friends Club. But I really enjoy all of you guys that comment. And it was just so affirming, entertaining, and it made me smile to just know that so many of you felt safe to comment. Because, on YouTube, sometimes you can be afraid to say something because somebody will come back with something, rude or obnoxious. And you're like, man, why did I even say anything in the first place? So I want you guys to feel safe to comment, tell what's on your heart. And hopefully you have enjoyed these videos. And I want to continue to do these because this is such a cool thing to have us be able to talk about topics that we would not necessarily get to talk about. So if you have not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Thank you to all of you that did subscribe from that video. And let's continue this because this was truly enjoyable and fun. I will see you in my next video.